Welcome to a bi-week edition of TW Sports Talk right here on YouTube, the YouTube channel. Yeah, I always want to. I'm always tempted to say on Kutztown Radio, but anyhow, yeah, Eagles bye week this past week. Obviously, we're not coming off of any game, so obviously we got the Arizona Cardinals game.
So we got nothing to bitch or complain about, really.
Yeah. I guess we could look at it that way. But yeah, I mean, definitely we can. We could definitely like go through like possible playoff scenarios coming down the stretch here. I don't know. I actually have some surprise audio. I don't know if you want to hear this right away.
What is it?
I don't know if you heard, like, Foles was mic'd up during the Giants game. And
wait, is this about the whole chicken tenders conversation with Mark Sanchez?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't about that or anything.
These chicken tenders are really good. You should really try them.
Yeah. No, this is it's actually, and like Chip Kelly said, like this is like you get to hear the real Nick Foles here. He comes out and not the I guess not as much of the the geeky side, or I don't know, whatever.
But that's almost like when they mic'd up Tim Tebow for the one time there, and you actually heard Tim Tebow the quarterback instead of Tim Tebow the very evangelical Christian.
Yeah.
On the sidelines, he would always say like Jesus.
Yeah. But no, they had it was definitely a highlight, at least from this Nick Foles audio when being mic'd up when Sproles went down, and that's kind of the whole sequence here that you'll hear, and then when he gets up, Sproles gets up, and so it's about 30 seconds. So it's kind of amusing. So I guess I thought I'd play that, and certainly I'll probably be cutting up a few other sound bites out of this whole sequence for the future. So so here I'll play it.
What the hell? And it looks like Sproles is shaken up. Hey, get off! He is slow getting up.
Then that's not a guy that you want to see injured.
You see that? I did. You can't bend the dude backwards. Yeah, we'll call something on him. You can't bend the guy backwards and break his leg. You can't bend the guy backwards. I know. This guy is a special dude right here. I know. You knew he knew that? That pisses me off. That's my teammate.
And Sproles is on his feet, walking off under his own power.
There you go, Sproles. There you go, Sproles.
He is a tough little guy.
Yeah, so there you go. You had a little bit of like,
That's my teammate. I just already thought Terrell Owens already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you heard like, it's my teammate.
It's my quarterback.
Where is it?
It's my teammate.
Yeah. You heard a little bit of that.
I mean,
not sobbing, not sobbing.
It's not like a press conference.
But yeah, I mean, kind of like, saying to the ref, like, that's my teammate. It kind of like right when he said, that's kind of what comes to mind. But
it was.
You can't bend the guy backwards,
You can't bend the guy backwards.
And right when it happens, it's like what the hell?
That's a special little guy right there.
Yeah.
Chris, what was that? Chris Collins, whoever that made the comment. That's a special little guy right there.
Or Merrill Reese.
Wait. Was that Philly radio? Or
that was Merrill Reese and the other guy. I forget the other guy's name. But the guys that do it on the radio.
Okay. So it was radio, not NBC. No. Yeah. It wasn't NBC's broadcast.
Yeah, and normally when they show that stuff too on the NFL Network, that's like what they use, like basically that city's like radio broadcast.
Oh, okay.
If you notice,
well,
normally unless it's like
because NBC would want to ask for money. Maybe.
Yeah.
You can't plug him out, Al Michael and Chris Collins with a voice without permission.
Yeah. So I mean, and then Sproles gets up.
Walks
and
out.
You'd think that was like you'd think just on that audio alone that's like Sproles like breaking down, getting to the end zone for a touch. But no, that's Sproles getting up and heading back to the locker room. So obviously, that's obviously to Nick Foles, that's a key piece to the offense.
It's find hilarious that some of these quarterbacks here have a voice out on the field, but some of these guys put in front of a camera. They're like the softest spoken people you ever heard in your life, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different than that, obviously, but so yeah, you kind of get to see like a little more of like on the field. You get to kind of get a better sense of Nick Foles, I guess. So yeah, I mean, certainly for this Arizona Cardinals game, Sproles has been like limited practice, and I guess
there's still a shot. Say he might actually play though. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know if you want to risk him.
Polk's out. I mean, after McCoy, you got Tucker, and I mean, obviously McCoy's gonna be getting a lot more handoffs than he's used to, probably, but. Which, against his Arizona defense, I mean, Arizona defense is really going to probably add up to a high risk chance of an injury maybe as well. Yeah. But, yeah, I would not activate him. I would deactivate him, just move Tucker from the practice squad finally over to the main roster. I would also cut Chris Polk. I don't know why the hell we kept the guy. Yeah, he didn't play any games in the preseason at all due to injury. And we just brought him back, and he still looked like he was 100%. Yet he ran for an interception. But he never looked 100%, Ty, when he took those kill returns. He never looked 100%. It felt like we had to put somebody to return kicks. We had to have somebody return kicks for us.
Yeah.
Why couldn't it be like Brad Smith for anybody? I don't know, but
yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess Foles. Foles in this Arizona game, he's gonna have some family at the game down there in Arizona.
Well, yeah, because he played Arizona University.
Yeah, so that'll be that'll be an interesting, little aspect there at the game, at least for Nick Foles' part. So, be interested to see how he comes out. You see if, maybe that shakes him up a little more, or I don't know if he gets, but obviously I think Nick Foles has to, it's key that he doesn't turn the ball over in this game against Arizona. Obviously give up maybe bad field position and this and that. So. I definitely, hopefully Foles comes out and maybe has a turnover-free game, but, that's no guarantee so far this season.
He said he's not going to let turnovers affect him from playing his game in that. That's all he said.
Yeah.
Which you could take it as, okay, well, that's great. He's not going to get in his head, but also you take it as, this guy's going to be a glorified gunslinger this year and just going to vote through any small window he thinks available.
Yeah.
And against this defense, that's a big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, I mean, he's got to throw the ball away where nobody can get it or whatever.
Once again,
if he gets pressured.
Once again, especially about my boy, Deshaun Jackson.
Your boy. Yeah, who was now, Colt McCoy over there in Washington.
Like I said, the only reason why he went to Washington is because he went to face Philadelphia. The game when Cruz went down. Because I guess in their mind, the game was over.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of, and I mean, all day long. I mean, Eli Manning all day was,
Yeah, but like I said, Victor Cruz is like one of the most popular guys in the locker room, and Aaron, actually, kind of one of the most popular guys that sit in the league too. I mean, I really don't know a whole lot of guys, even on other teams, that don't like Victor Cruz.
Yeah,
and that, but it was actually a scary injury too, because I'm trying to still figure out how the knee popped out or how he got the tear.
I mean, see, it looked like one of those things that was eventually going to happen.
Yeah.
Because he was jumping up for the ball and it buckled on him. So
Yeah, but there was like no contact.
I know that's
and it wasn't even the knee that he fell on the ground on or anything. Like that.
It's one of those things that it seemed like it was just like ticking like a time bomb. Like it was going to happen at some point, and sometimes I guess. Yeah. Those kind of injuries just happen out of nowhere.
And actually, if you watch, I think it happened when I think it popped when he was in midair. Well, or teared when he was in midair.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the ball was kind of on his hand, and usually Cruz makes those catches, but all of a sudden, it felt like his arm was going to go down. Like one of his hands just came down.
Yeah, I mean, a reaction.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm gonna face it. I mean, if I was playing and I heard something pop or tear
and felt it,
and felt it there, my reaction is going to be all of a sudden I don't care about the ball anymore. I'm going to go straight to my knee here and make sure I didn't like tear something completely. And he teared it, and he looked like he was emotionally distraught then afterwards because he knew.
Yeah, I mean, he knew his season was
probably over. Which meant maybe the Giants' season was probably over. I mean, I'll give New York fans, Philadelphia fans credit. We did boo him out of the building when he got in the car.
Right, yeah. I mean, they
I kind of heard small boos because, let's face it. There's always going to be a few assholes in the crowd.
In every
environment. There's always a few assholes in that. But
yeah.
I was happy that nobody was like, it was cheers of, okay, good luck, Cruz. You're going to make it, man. Your career's not over yet,
Yeah.
It wasn't, you're off the field, you're bum. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because even if Philly fans cheer, there's a good cheer and there's bad cheers too. So, you also have a lot of Eagle players come over and wishing the guy luck and that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, everybody was talking about this whole trash talking deal. It's like to me that all the trash talking was good fun from players exchange in my mind.
Yeah, well, yeah,
and both sides did it. I don't know why all of a sudden the New York Giants are getting a lot of flack for the trash talk. It's like both guys. Hell, the Eagles made. There was an animation video for crying out loud that the Eagles made.
Well, I mean, who like Bradley Cooper made it or so? I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. It wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't like I guess like Jeremy Maclin had. I don't know. I forget what he said on the locker room last week or what. I think I talked about it last week when they were. Yeah, Mac was just like kind of disgusted, but like had nothing to say really about it. And, you know.
I don't know. I mean, I actually thought some of the Giants stuff was hilarious. I thought.
Like what? Like the picture? Like what? The picture?
The picture of the guy with the guy Eagles jersey with a flat 0 in the back.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was very creative on his part.
Yeah, I mean it is, but then like the other part of me says like, all right, well Rogers Cromartie, I mean, you know, you haven't won a Super Bowl, and I don't know, it came off as that too, like, and he's been passed around the past, you know, if it was somebody else on the team.
Well, to be fair, he wasn't that Eagles team where I believe Vince Young made the comment, we're a dynasty waiting to happen there. Which
he said here's exactly what he said. He said, I feel like we have a dream team here, or something like that. And
funny coming from the backup quarterback on this team.
Vic said the next year, like, I think we can become a dynasty.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you say what you want.
I'm just saying, it was like Rogers Cromartie was the only defensive guy on that team that was just a massive letdown all around.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I'm the awesome one.
Awesome one was a big letdown.
Yeah, who's like not even playing now. So I mean, you know,
I mean,
at least Rogers Cromartie is, you know, playing on a team somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like I said, I mean, wow, it's not like that. Quentin Depps was a former Eagle. He's on the Giants as well. So you got. To me, it felt like a giant reunion there. So maybe those guys just wanted to poke fun a little bit at maybe the old team.
And Trell Roll.
And
LaShawn McCoy. I think they've had like a Twitter feud like the past couple of years, and whenever they play.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Twitter feuds are just stupid as hell.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's I
don't care who's making the Twitter feud. It's just those are stupid as hell. They can be hilarious, but they're just stupid. They're just a Twitter feud is just stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of trash talking, and I mean, either way, and I mean, obviously, a lot of criticisms coming off that Rams game that the Eagles, you know, had to respond to, and they, you know, definitely they did in a big way.
I mean, like I said, I am happy that they actually held on to the lead. I also think that, like, once again, I think when Cruz went down, the Giants were just done for the day.
Basically, yeah. I mean, at that point, you know, stick a fork in it, and
I really just think at that point the Giants just wanted to get the hell out of Philadelphia.
Yeah. I mean, that could have been a big swing too. I mean, it could have been 27-0, and then, but it turned out, you know,
would have put a lot more pressure on Foles because that was the second interception of the game. Too,
I mean, it went from, you know, possibly being that to going to, you know, it could have been possibly 20-7. So I mean, that was a big swing there.
Like I said, McCoy had 149 rushing yards. That was easily his most he ever had this year.
Yeah, he looked like the LaShawn McCoy of last year.
I mean, I mean, obviously Sproles even got hurt too. He's gonna be out supposedly at least for 2 weeks. I heard, so he might miss the Arizona game.
He could,
So that's about it.
Now you look at, I mean, if you see the replay of that, you can kind of see like what, you know, why the knee was not meant to bend like that. Yeah. But you know, fortunately, I mean, he got up and he walked off, and
that's what I'm saying. He's lucky. He's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It could have easily been like Cruz, and I mean, Grant, he was walking off in his own power. Cruz had to get carted off.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like with Sproles, like it was like an injury, like a contact injury. You could see like why that happened, but like Cruz, it looked like something that I guess was just bound to happen at some point.
Well, you know, I mean, there's always players that come in that play something that's hurt off the bat, and because they think it's just minor, and you know they can play fluid, but all of a sudden, like you said, all of a sudden a tear happens, and next thing you know, you're out for the year.
Yeah.
And you know, but that's on the trainers, that's on the player too, because only they really know whether the guy can go or not at full speed and so on.
Yeah. But yeah, the Sproles injury that you saw there, that looked, you know, that's something that, you know, probably no sports science is going to cure the way the knee bent there, but you know, fortunately, it's only a minor injury for him, and
he's
on the other hand, LaShawn McCoy looks like he's back, and the offensive line obviously played well in this game.
Well, I think we have 4 or 2 guys back.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Still missing Mathis and Kelsey.
And I think
but
I think I don't know. Aren't they both out for the year, Kelsey and Mathis?
I think. Well, no, I think. And they were showing them on the sidelines.
Yeah.
But I think sometime in November. I think like maybe a month from now they might be back. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Their season shouldn't be over. But I mean, at least in this game, I mean, good job by the offensive line. They look.
Yeah.
They definitely look.
Yeah.
More
Yeah. I mean, they actually
improved.
held well together in that. So.
And I mean, Pierre-Paul was having, up to that point, I mean, he was having a pretty good season, and
yeah,
you would have thought that they were going to get to Foles more, but
yeah,
the offensive line held up.
Especially the guy who was covering Foles covering Pierre was a guy who was a question mark up to that point.
Jason Peters. Yeah.
I mean, Peters
had his best game of the season.
Is great. Well, yeah, but he struggled with this line up to a point as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they did here, I mean.
But yeah, no, I mean it's great, but obviously, still I think the best team in the NFC East is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, again, we didn't. Well, I didn't expect them to beat the Seahawks in Seattle. I know
when I saw that the score is 10-0 and Seattle blocked the punt, I'm already saying to myself, well, that's it. Dallas is just going to fold up and just say it's over because this is what happened the last time when he went to Seattle. But then all of a sudden, I believe Dallas took the lead hand in halftime and so on. And they saw that.
It's like 13-10 or I don't know.
Yeah.
It was coming. It was close.
Murray once again had 100-yard rushings in the game. Six straight game he's had that. That ties Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Which already shows you how elite than DeMarco Murray's been this year. If the name Jim Brown is only name up there then. And how they got the Giants next week. I'm pretty sure Murray's gonna have a field day against this defense like McCoy did. And then Washington, which I already know is dead in the water.
Yeah.
Great. I think Jackson's still gonna put up some pretty big numbers for Washington this year.
Yeah, I mean he put up some good numbers
against Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah. I mean they've competed. I mean, I give Washington some credit. I mean, the past couple of weeks, they didn't get destroyed by Seattle the week before, and so.
But no, I mean, but then again, I remember watching that whole Cowboys game, and obviously there was the muff punt, then Romo, and already I'm looking at this because then at that point, Seattle had the lead again. I'm just like, oh my God, the Cowboys are just gonna give this game away, and I'm just like, man, this is like the old Dallas Cowboys over again here. Yeah. This is the accident waiting to happen. But then Romo makes two of the biggest throws of his career.
Yeah.
That pass to Terrence Williams was perfect. Nice
toe drag. Yeah.
Also nice catch by Williams as well, but the throw was perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
it was where it needed to be.
Right. Yeah.
Granted, Jason Witten almost screwed up the whole play because you watch it, he's running down the sideline. But he stops at the right moment, though. He just stops because he realizes that he's not getting the ball. Williams is, and he's not going to bump into Williams to screw this up.
Yeah.
But, then DeMarco runs into the end zone. And you know what, though? I mean, Dallas is only the second team in the last 3 years to beat Seattle at home.
Last year was Arizona.
So, to me, Super Bowl contender out
there. I mean, that's an accomplishment.
I said it on Facebook. That win puts Dallas as a Super Bowl contender this year in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean.
Granted, I hear some Philly fans saying, well, I guess Seattle's just not that good this year and so on.
Well, no, it's just obviously they're still good. I mean, I've heard a couple guys are a little banged up, but
Yeah, but
I mean,
the fact that there are Eagle fans out there just trying to that they just can't admit that Dallas might just be the better team this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously they're legitimate right now. Yeah. We'll have to let it play out, I guess, but.
I mean, like I said though, but the fact that there's still like Eagle fans here that just they refuse to admit that Dallas is not a joke this year.
Yeah,
you can't make fun of them. This
year.
I mean, you can make fun of Jerry Jones' comments that he makes because I think Jerry's still is Jerry at the end of the day in that, but he's also not the guy playing on the field at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, Dallas is legitimate in my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, and for those same Eagle fans, I hope they realize Seattle's on their schedule this year. So if Seattle destroys Philadelphia, then the mediocre Seahawks team that you were bragging about, the Dallas just beat the Eagles then. So
yeah,
all those Eagle fans are prepared to eat crow maybe come later in the year then.
Yeah.
It's just it's some stupid comments that some fans make.
Yeah.
It's like we can't give him any credit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's because Seattle was bad this year.
Look at it. Yeah, I mean, look at it. I look at it like this way. I mean, this is. I think it's kind of good for the Eagles and just the NFL in general.
It makes the NFC East not a laughingstock anymore.
Exactly.
If you have a competitive team here.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like renews like this Cowboys and Eagles rivalry that, I mean, last year you had it.
Because as of right now, if these teams keep winning, that matchup could determine who gets the home field advantage throughout the playoffs then.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. I mean, well, not only that, I mean, they play on Thanksgiving, for one thing. That's, that's...
Well, that's Cowboy tradition there.
Right,
and
yeah.
All of Detroit. And I don't know why Detroit is part of that whole tradition there, but yeah. I know why Dallas is.
But the Eagles, I mean, they haven't played Dallas for whatever reason in Thanksgiving in so long. So that game, and then 2 weeks later, they play another one. So, I mean, and you still got like several weeks until that first game between the two. So I mean, it's it should be an interesting like build up to it.
I mean,
to this rivalry. This year.
But I mean, like I said though, but it also means that Philadelphia can't screw up in losses. Then they got to keep pace with Dallas then because I'm looking at the next. There's 10 games left for both teams. They're both 5-1. Yeah. There's 10 games left. 6 of those games for Dallas are division games because they yet to play any division games yet. They start with New York next week, which I think is going to be a win.
Yeah.
It might be somewhat close because I can see it being a trap game for Dallas maybe.
Yeah, there's no way that the Giants come out like they did again. Like,
I mean, Grant, no Victor Cruz, no Rashawn Jennings again. I don't know how this team can stay motivated. But I do think maybe Dallas gets overconfident maybe slightly a bit.
I mean, we've seen it happen before.
Yeah. No, any team comes off that big of a win is due for some kind of trap game or a slump.
Yeah.
Because you have all that emotional win.
Exactly. Right.
You're on top now, finally. Teams are taking you serious now. And all of a sudden you come in and thinking you're going to blow out the Giants maybe a bit. Yeah. And all of a sudden it becomes a game. All of a sudden you're like, oh shit, we got to get focused because we can't start overlooking teams now. So they got New York. Then they got Washington, which once again I think should be a win. But, we'll see when division games come.
Yeah. I mean, Washington's competed, definitely.
I mean, Grant,
they're 1-5.
Grant, Washington might have RG3 come back that week too, but it sounds like he's starting to practice again.
Yeah.
So, as right now, Kirk Cousins does not deserve the starting position right now. He's not Brian Hoyer right now for Cleveland, who's playing to the point where Johnny Manziel is officially maybe Johnny Bench for the year.
Yeah.
Even though I hear reports saying that even if Hoyer gets the Browns to the playoff, it sounds like Hoyer is going to get dropped by the season's end, and then Manziel is going to be the starter come next year. Yeah. I mean, I can get that because Manziel is more long term.
Yeah, I mean they drafted him
number one for crying out loud. So clearly you drafted Manziel. But,
yeah,
I mean, like I said, and maybe him sitting out for a full season was good. Once again, I don't know why all of a sudden rookie quarterbacks need to start right away.
Yeah. And I mean, not only...
Aaron Rodgers sat for years on the bench. And
next to Brett Favre.
To me, it helped him. He learned the playbook. He learned it. And
he'll probably, in Packer history, he'll probably go on to be the best,
Even Phillip Rivers, it helped him out, too. He was starting backup for San Diego with Drew Brees, believe it or not, for many years. And then, Drew Brees eventually went to New Orleans. And then, of course, Phillip Rivers started fine for San Diego. But I think that those two, Rivers and Rodgers, benefit by sitting on the bench.
Right, yeah.
Looking after a veteran quarterback, or in this case, somebody who Sango thought was a bust and turned out to be still a very decent quarterback.
Yeah. Now, Hoyer, at least at this point, is, unfortunately for John Manziel, he's not a Breeze or Favre.
Yeah, I know. So, he's kind of a scrub. So, some people look at him as a scrub.
I mean, he's been playing well. I mean, obviously.
Well, he kind of played well last year before he got hurt.
Yeah.
For the year.
Yeah.
I mean, his big criticism has been that he's too injury prone.
Yeah, not to say he's a scrub or anything, but he's not.
I mean, keep in mind here, this team destroyed Pittsburgh, almost beat them the first time to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they almost came back and beat them.
They played Joe Flacco and Baltimore close.
Yeah.
And Eddie Dalton and the Bengals, which were once looked at as one of the best teams in the NFL, are now kind of a joke now more than anything.
Yeah, their defense the past couple weeks has been a joke now.
So all of a sudden the North looks like it's more wide open than it's ever been.
Yeah. Now Pittsburgh's in last technically.
Yeah, and now you got Bill Cowher and Hines Ward and Chuck Noll calling out the Steeler defense now. So now when you have I don't know. I think Tomlin might be out this year. honestly, it's not his fault. I think it has a lot to do with this team just was not prepared for the future. They hung on to too many veteran guys for far too long, and finally, H caught up with these guys here, and it finally bit them in the butt there.
Yeah.
To me, I think Roethlisberger still has one more great year left in him. I think the guy's still a solid quarterback to hang on to.
Yeah, he's still I mean,
but he needs young help.
He needs
young help on the outside.
Yeah.
Inside, he wants to win another Super Bowl for Pittsburgh yet, because he does have 2 rings to his credit, and so on. But I guess going back to the East here, I mean, and I guess Dallas has these 6 division games coming up, and their non-conference games are Indianapolis, because we faced Jacksonville, which I think should definitely be a win for Dallas. Chicago, which will be a very interesting game there, because Chicago was a team that kind of destroyed Dallas last year, but Chicago has this really horrible defense.
They're up and down. Yeah, I mean,
very, very up and down team.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Will the real Chicago Bears please stand? Stand up.
And then you have the Arizona Cardinals, which I could see being a loss, but after they beat Seattle, who's to say they can't beat Arizona either?
Yeah, and I think they have them at home.
They have them at home. And like I said, Indianapolis, and like I said, you look at why Dallas over Philly right now. I think Dallas is being the better teams than Philly has.
Yeah.
The Saints are struggling here, but I still am taking them in the South right now.
The only
team I can see competing maybe is...
Well, the South is pretty wide open, too, in a sense.
Except for Tampa. I think Tampa...
we can rule them out.
I think Tampa... I think Lovie Smith is the right move coaching-wise, but he needs to start getting players to come in there. It's going to be a long rebuilding year. I hope Tampa Bay fans are ready for the agony that's going to be happening.
I mean, we saw what happened, against the Ravens this past week.
Yes, it was not pretty. Granted, they played against the Saints very tough. I mean, this is a Bucs team that might play tough in a few games.
Yeah.
Just because maybe a certain team just is in a funk, and definitely the Saints are in a funk, but they should still win the South, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming
I get it. Again, Atlanta is 2-0 in the division, and one of those is against the Saints, but at the same time, Atlanta's been looking very questionable in defense
and their offensive line is,
really banged up also.
Yeah, that's hurt Matt Ryan.
Carolina, I mean, I don't know which Carolina Panther team's going to stand up.
Again,
will the real team please stand up?
Will the real Panthers please stand? Yeah, they're 3-2-1 now, and the Saints are right with them.
Look, I can tell you this: there's not going to be a wild card team coming out of the NFC South this year. That's a 1-team division.
Yeah,
as far as playoffs go.
Even though we thought initially there could be, but now it's
the West is probably you're going to get one wild card team. Even though I know both. There's still people hoping for maybe Resident 3, but I just see one happening. The North, Detroit. If Green Bay, Detroit can hang in there, that could be a wild card division.
Detroit is banged up, and they're kind of like the Cowboys at the end of the season.
Megatron, he was also gone for a little bit too, so that's gonna hurt.
Reggie Bush, I think, went down, and
but still, they're 4-2. They're tied with Green Bay.
Yeah.
They those two teams can keep pace. That could be a wild card division.
Yeah,
and like I said. The East is a 2-horse race pretty much now. I'm convinced Washington's out and New York's. Those two are just playing spoiler now.
Yeah, I mean,
to me, they're not going. Both those two teams are not in the division race no longer. So it's a 2-horse race now. So unless one of those teams, Dallas really has a massive slump coming up, a massive losing streak coming up there, you would think that is a possibility of a wild card coming out of the East, which is something no expert had.
Well, yeah.
Almost coming out this year.
Except I think, Sal Palantonio actually predicted the Cowboys before this to be a wild card team.
I agree.
So
clearly Sal saw something in this defense that no one else saw.
Exactly. Something. No.
Clearly he had this prediction that they were going to run DeMarco Murray more than they ever ran him before.
But yeah, the Giants, forget them winning the division now.
I think Victor Cruz is too big.
They got to fight. Yeah, I mean,
I think also Rashad Jennings being out is going to hurt him.
They're going to have a tough time.
I think Andre Williams has a huge potential in the NFL. He's only a rookie too.
Yeah.
So he's once again, not all rookies going to be a lights out player when he gets them on the field.
Yeah.
So
now they're kind of who we thought they were.
They are who we thought they were.
So but going to the next 10, looking at Dallas's matchups, I mean, then of course you got Philadelphia. We got Arizona coming up after the bye.
Houston after that. We got a phone ringing in the background.
Phone rings. Yeah. But we got Green Bay. We got Arizona, Houston, Green Bay.
Carolina
Monday night.
Yeah. Tennessee, I think.
Tennessee to wrap it up. Tennessee's the final matchup for Dallas.
Yeah.
For Dallas, it's on Thanksgiving. And of all those matchups there, 4 of those matchups I think could be potential losses.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Arizona, Green Bay, Carolina, and Houston. I think all could be losses. For Philadelphia.
They all could be. I mean, you know,
even Tennessee, Tyler.
No, not Tennessee.
I would at least expect a W against Tennessee here at this point because I think
not Tennessee, but I mean like the 4 ones before that.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, all could be losses. Those could be losses, which means you need some losses on the Dallas side. Now, granted, like I said, they got 2 division games coming up, which they should be wins, so they should be 7-1.
Yeah. They could be close. I mean, you never know. They could be close games.
Yeah, but then they got Jacksonville, which I think is their final game before they head to their bye. That's the thing too. I believe Dallas plays us after a bye too, so that means they got like an extra amount of week to prep for us.
I think they play Jacksonville before that Thursday game, which for all intents and purposes kind of is a bye. You know. Yeah. But I think they have their bye, and then I think they play Jacksonville that Sunday night. I'm
trying to think if it's because I do know that Arizona I think is next after New York and Washington, I believe, and then Jacksonville somewhere after that. I don't know if it's right after or it's after their bye. Well, let's see. This is week 7 coming up, and their bye is I believe week 11. So week 7 this Giants. Week 8 is Washington. Week 9 would be Arizona. Week 10 is Jacksonville. Yeah, and then week 11 is their bye. And then week 12, I believe it's Thanksgiving, and that's against us. So that means they got
Thursday.
That means they have a bye week. They got also a short week of Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm not. Yeah, I guess it.
And Philly's going to be playing off of a short week too, because they got Tennessee on Sunday, and then they only got 3-day prep for Dallas then.
Although I mean, Tennessee could kind of be like a bye too. Not kind of like with Jacksonville.
We're hoping that, but they can. You know, this is a team that also had Jacksonville beat them 17-0 in the first half too. So
yeah, but then again, I think Jacksonville they almost beat Tennessee this past week too. I mean, that was a close game. You know, Jacksonville almost.
Well, I think Blake Bortles is gonna have a bright future at Jacksonville. I just think he's
third generation superstar. Oh, he's the goat chipper. Some people would a few times call him the goat chipper. But then he hurt his elbow. I believe he had an elbow injury. And that's pretty much what he started to do this field gimmick where he would do these arcade, Randy Orton updates and stuff like that. Overdrives or no updates. He would literally just stand in front of the camera and it was like news. He's like, this is the Randy Orton update. Curly my shoulders like and it actually got me in a heel because I just didn't give a shit about Randy Orton at the time. But yeah, no, and after that, I believe then they formed Evolution though with Ric Flair and Triple H then. Granted, it was never happened because I believe both Orton and Batista got hurt again, so they actually keep him off television for a little bit. The group actually formed not just once but twice actually until it finally got to the official stable, which was Triple H, Ric Flair, Batista, and Orton. Yeah. Yeah, so that lasted a couple years really. Dominated the storyline on Raw. I mean, it was big. Yeah. I mean, it was obviously key in elevating the two guys. I mean, eventually Batista and Triple H would feud for the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, Orton was the first guy. Orton was the more sound guy in the ring. He had maybe more charisma than Batista did. Batista had the look, obviously. Oh, he had it in his stride. But Orton was the first guy to get to the world title also. Yeah. He beat Chris Benoit at SummerSlam. It's kind of a very big deal. Yeah. And he became the youngest world champion as well, I think. Yeah, it's still in the ring. He beat out Brock Lesnar, who also at SummerSlam gets the Rock, but he had the record for a while. Orton was still is the youngest world champion. Yeah, and then as far as, I guess, Lesnar, as far as just the that specific belt, I guess, or WWE Championship was that, but yeah, Orton, the youngest world champion ever out of that, yeah. Yeah, ever. Yeah. Now Batista's like several years older than Orton too, but yeah, which also kind of gives him a disadvantage. He was already in his 30s at the time, but he'd still beat Triple H a few times and for the belt, and obviously then he'd make his move to SmackDown, and for a few years there, and go back to Raw. So he'd still several more years then after that of success, obviously, big career. And obviously Orton, is still like, well, he's like the number one heel sort of in a sense right now. He's like John Cena. He just will go away. Yeah, he's been there. Yeah, exactly. He's rarely hurt, really. I think he rarely gets back. It's kind of funny though, because originally for 21, the original main event was going to be Randy Orton versus Triple H originally. Yeah. Because you watch that storyline after Orton wins SummerSlam over Benoit, he feeds immediately with Triple H. Then a month later, drops the belt to Triple H and Unforgiven. Granted, due to constant interference by Evolution members and so on, but he drops the belt then. And the company was Orton was going to slowly build his way back up to facing Triple H for the belt. But then he started to discover that he was starting to lose momentum as a babyface, and Batista started to gain momentum. And people started to cheer for Batista there because he started to look at this guy as this giant. Actually, he started to get better in the ring as well. Like he started to wrestle better too. But his character, he started to develop. He started to also get a little cocky as well. Why am I listening to you, Flair and Triple H here? I'm clearly up with your level doing that. So, like I said, to me, that Triple H and Batista feud from 21 to Vengeance, very great feud, I think. Yeah. I think Triple H right in the world there because it was, he lost 3 straight pay-per-view matches, which was unheard of back in the day then. So, but to me, I would put Batista over as a legitimate champion then because, he beats Triple H at the main event of Mania. Unrated Mania is 21 too. That establishes John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton faces Undertaker that night as well. Yeah, Kurt Angle with Shawn Michaels for the first time ever. I mean, it's actually a very stacked card to look at in the future now because it actually built towards the future of the company. But, he then faces him in a rematch, he beats him at Backlash. But to me, the vengeance they were taking because Triple H had this massive winning streak making Hell in a Cell matches. Yeah. Actually, I really watched the Hell in a Cell match going at least 1-on-1 because there's the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match, which some people keep talking about because probably never happened again. 6 guys in a Hell in a Cell match, so it never happened again. But Triple H, Hell in a Cell match, I don't think they ever lost a Hell in a Cell match up to the Batista match in this whole idea, well, the young guy can't beat me in my structure kind of more or less than that, and I can use my sledgehammer and but Batista wins again, and there's actually this classic backstage segment that happens, and it's actually it was only on the DVD exclusively for Vengeance, but you can watch it on YouTube. You see a bloody Triple H backstage, and it's kind of like, he's hurt, and you see Ric Flair going, and he finally tells him, look, you gotta admit this, the kid's good, he's good. And also Batista shows up there, Batista just says, I just want to say thanks, because the reason I'm wearing that is because of you guys all alone. Triple H just shakes his head and goes, that's Evolution right there, that's Evolution. And that pretty much, to me, that killed the Evolution statement right there, right there, but when you have Triple H saying to a young guy, yeah, this is the goal all along, was to build you guys up to eventually surpass me and Flair. You just had to prove it to me on the ring, and you finally did. After beating me with using that, but yeah, no, to me, when Triple H puts over Batista even backstage in a segment, that sums up right away that this guy's a glorified star. And great, he was neck and neck with John Cena for a while, and then I'm trying to think, I think when they went to Raw, like Batista and John Cena were on the same brand together, briefly through the draft, and had a match at SummerSlam. You know, Batista won. He started showing that John Cena was the bigger guy. Like the crowd was reacting more to John Cena than Dave Batista. And to me, after that match happened, Dave Batista won the match. You kind of could start to get the feeling that John Cena was the more over guy. And I think after that, because I believe that and then 26 WrestleMania, they finally had their second match. And Batista was the heel. And one of the storylines Batista gave was that, hey, you were neck and neck, but at the end of the day, John, they picked you. The company chose you as the company guy in that. And what's kind of shocking since Batista came out of Triple H. Evolution, he was kind of in Triple H's camp all along. And which I kind of bind to John Cena saying, look, I got to where I am because of hard work and because I did a lot of the right things and all that and so on. Because once again, I actually thought Batista was going to be the face of the company because look, the guys in Triple H's camp for crying out loud. Like he is still Triple H's guy in that. And back in the day, I know Triple H didn't like John Cena. Thought the guy was a sloppy wrestler. Thought the guy just had this great gimmick, his rapper gimmick, and that's the reason that he got over. At least Batista was improving in the ring. And then John Cena improved in the ring because he, I guess, actually took the criticism damn seriously. He realized, I gotta get better because down the line, I'm gonna be guys that carry this company down. Sure, that's the company pretty much. But he didn't realize that he had to carry the company there. But for Orton, once Batista took his spot, the only way to go was heel really. But to me, he had one of the most underrated gimmicks. Also, he had the whole wrestling killer gimmick. And then eventually like the Apex Predator gimmick. But whatever. But to me, the feud of made him a star, a glorified main event star was the Undertaker feud though. Which lasted almost forever on SmackDown. I remember that year. Because it started at 21, and then kind of ended because I believe Orton hurt his shoulder in the Undertaker match, so they had to rest up. They got drafted to SmackDown, and they had like a feud at SummerSlam. They had No Mercy. They ended at Armageddon in a cell match. Which was kind of a scary moment for both guys because Bob Orton, Bob Orton was kind of his corner during that run too. Kind of like his manager, / mentor. And you watch an Armageddon match. It's a very bloody Armageddon match. Orton's bleeding, Taker's bleeding, Cowboy Bob Orton's bleeding. The problem with that is though, Cowboy Bob Orton apparently had hepatitis and didn't tell anybody backstage. And there's blood everywhere. He's lucky to give his son and the Undertaker hepatitis in the match tonight because but actually that's the reason why Cowboy Bob Orton actually would never not feature on television anymore to that extent anymore because they would say, well Bob, you got this disease which can spread easily, definitely be a transfer of blood. So you can't be featured on television anymore. But obviously it was big for Orton because then he featured in the main event at WrestleMania 22. He lost and granted his character said something. Well, you know that Rey Mysterio push, which once again I think only happened because Eddie Guerrero died that year. How does the Rey Mysterio put up to the sky and say, this match is for you, Eddie? Kurt Angle obviously was kind of red hot at the moment. I know it's kind of funny how easy the fans cheered him as a babyface because at that moment he was like, Davari as like his manager. He was like these anti-American, like he did kind of promo saying that he refused to go to tribute to the troops over in Afghanistan. And his speech was like, I don't give a damn about the troops. They respect me as a gold medalist and so on. So they were like pushing this anti-American Kurt Angle kind of gimmick over Raw. Then when Batista gets hurt, so he's a new world champion then, and I guess he worked up at the belt of Mark Henry. So Kurt Angle shows up, wins the battle royal, gets champion, and he's a babyface then. He actually dropped Davari next week, who then becomes the manager for Mark Henry then. So then Kurt Angle pushes on his wrestling machine gimmick kind of like, he's just a total badass in the ring pretty much. Like he'll make you tap out, he'll break your ankle, he'll suplex you until you break your neck. He doesn't care really. He's a wrestling machine. But then I remember when Rey Mysterio, the next match that I did was the Royal Rumble, and he's like, yeah, I did for Eddie, blah blah blah. Orton comes out then and says like, because Orton was the last guy that got eliminated in that Rumble, if you remember right. And Orton like says something along the lines of oh, I see you're pointing your finger up Eddie going to heaven. I just see for Ray, Eddie's not in heaven. He's in hell. So when you hear Orton say that, it's like, oh my god, we're really going to push the Eddie Guerrero death into a main event, WrestleMania main event. But I just remember that. I couldn't believe they actually said it on television. But I mean, anyway, Ray wins the belt. Orton goes back to Raw then because there was like a triple threat match between Ray, Kurt, at WrestleMania 22. Ray wins the belt. Which makes sense. Once again, when you're paying tribute to your dead friend, it's usually the guy wins. And then of course Kurt goes into ECW. After a couple months later. That's when they started doing. So Orton goes back to Raw, I believe, right? And then would eventually like kind of I guess team with Edge then. They thought Ray RKO. Grant, it was a great idea, but once DX went down, Triple H had a quad injury, his second quad injury. Really there was no point. They tried to do Shawn Michaels and John Cena, but really Ray RKO. I mean, they kind of needed a top team of feud, and the tag team division kind of sucked around that time. Grant had a lot of tag teams, but I guess we had two tag teams. Obviously the SmackDown ones and SmackDown. If you have DX destroy the Spirit Squad matches, if you have then wait a 2-on-6 handicap match with like the Highlanders and Charlie Haas and Viscera and some of the other tag teams they killed too. I mean, you killed your tag team division, but you had to put over DX as this like tough brutal tag team pretty much. So I mean, bringing us back to our original concept there, where would Orton and Batista be? I think Orton would still be pushed through the roof. Probably. Because he's just third generation over that. He was good in the ring, obviously. Batista, I don't think without the Triple H and Ric Flair, I don't think he would last in the locker room that much longer. I think. And he was really a strong performer up to that point. I mean, and his gimmick really before Evolution really was not that impressive. He was kind of like the animal more or less, but he didn't talk to the mic that much. He was kind of silent, but very aggressive wrestler. But no, I mean, honestly, I think Batista would have been cut. I don't think he would have gone to the main event level without Triple H and Ric Flair. And then as we were talking about earlier, no movie career, maybe no James Bond. I don't think he would have thought about going to the movie industry anytime soon. To be honest with you, I mean, worried about no Guardians of the Galaxy. which meant the question who played Jackson Destroyer. But no James Bond for David East, and no Bob De Niro movie. I mean, the guy would probably just be. My guess was he's just a bodybuilding probably. Yeah, which I mean maybe before. I don't know before they might have been. I don't know. Kind of like Cena was before. I mean, he did try to go in the wrestling industry in WCW. Like worked down at the power plant. Right? He didn't go anywhere down there. Yeah. But then again, when he went to the power plant, WCW was about to fold anyway. So he jumped the ship a little too late for that brand. But I mean, hell, his career at OVW was pretty great. He's part of the same class as Brock Lesnar and John Cena. So they were kind of all part of that same boat. Well, Randy Orton too. So you have those 4 guys, and more or less, they're all kind of doing their own thing. Orton's still there, Cena's still there full time. Brock did come back, he did MMA. Pretty much, he might go back to doing MMA too. UFC something there, he's signing back again. Yeah, perhaps after his The main reason is it's kind of funny because I remember when Brock went officially back to WWE, they asked Dana White. Dana White was drunk at the time. The TMZ asked him, and the question was, is Brock coming back? And he said, no, because he's a wrestler now again. I guess even Dana knew. Look, Brock's gonna lose matches in wrestling. He's gonna lose to guys that he's clearly tougher than. So when he comes back, he's gonna be looked at as his wrestler. I mean, great, he might still knock people out in the UFC, but the main reason is Brock holds the record as the highest seller for UFC pay-per-views. So yeah, that would make sense. I mean, I think he sold. I think he sold the record for the highest pay-per-view buy rate, which I think was 2 million. It was when he and Randy Couture faced each other. But that match had nostalgia because Randy Couture was a veteran in the MMA for so many years. Facing Brock Lesnar, that's only his 3rd UFC fight. Because that point, all he did was he faced Frank Mir, which I think he should have won that fight. First one, he died, but he made a mistake. He made like a rookie mistake. He made a mistake. Frank Mir won. Great, you get payback in the movie channel. And he destroyed Heath Miller. I remember watching that there. It was the most exciting fight, but Heath Miller just got wrecked in that one. I remember that. And then he faced Randy Couture. I knew Brock had an advantage because Randy was in his 40s at the time. His career's wrapping up. Obviously, they'll do the nostalgia. They said, no, but Randy's still better than Brock is. Then Brock went straight to the ground, and they should have knocking Couture out there. I remember. And of course, I believe he then faced Mir to unify the belts again because Brock had downplayed his first major injury, I believe. So he could defend the belt. So he faced Mir in a rematch. He won there. He then defended the belt against who was it? It wasn't King Velasquez, because that's he faces one guy. And it's one that kicked Brock's ass like 1 round. But Brock survived, and then Brock eventually got in a submission hold because the guy was just gassed. I think it was, this is one guy for like 1 round. Non-stop was throwing these punches fast, as hell at Brock, and Brock was still hanging in there. But the guy was gassed in like the next round, and all of a sudden Brock really just submission hold on, didn't even win the match then. I remember that it was Goldberg, the announcer of UFC, went up to like Paul Heyman, who was in the crowd that night. As were both many of these guys back in the day, like Austin would be in the crowd, Taker would be in the crowd. But they had an Paul's in the crowd, and Paul just said, look, I last night, and the UFC saw the toughness of Brock Lesnar. This guy can take punches, multiple punches, and he's not going to go down easily in that. And and talk about how him and Brock are close friends. How he's the only guy who he can say his family. I mean, it's actually great, like backstage interview from Paul Heyman actually, which is why I was surprised that he called him up there because Brock and Paul are family more or less. Those guys are usually like that close of friends. They're like family related pretty much. Then of course King Velasquez then kicks his ass. I thought Brock had a shot, but I knew Kane was an amateur wrestler too. She was also younger than Brock, had a little more MMA experience also. And Kane did the same thing the other fighter did, he didn't gas himself out. He did like slow punches, but when he got Brock in a certain position, it was over then. But UFC still is a top draw. I still would pick it over boxing. Especially before Mayweather retired, that's it for boxing. I don't see any top draw for boxing after Mayweather's done. And like I said, Mayweather's only has 2 fights left on his contract, and unless one of those fights is Pacquiao, I don't give a shit who played Mayweather fights in pay-per-view then. But no, I mean, UFC pay-per-view buy rates have kind of gone down slightly a bit. There's still higher WWE buy rates and boxing buy rates, I believe, but Brock was the top seller. Great, I think because you had wrestling fans watching this guy who knew him as a wrestler, and you had MMA guys at a point where they see Brock get his ass kicked. And when that didn't happen for a while, that made UFC fans buy into the fact that Brock's actually a legitimate tough guy. But it might happen. I mean, that's on Brock's shoulders. Does he want to go back to the ring? I mean, great, he has to win matches because that's why he's on a 2-fight losing streak in MMA. He lost to who's the last time he lost to before he finally called it quits in the UFC? I forget, but yeah, after diverticulitis. Yeah, exactly. I think that kind of pushed him a little bit to retire. Yeah, but and then money talks. They were also in the paycheck and says, hey, we're gonna feature you again on main cards here. Great, let's win matches. That's how UFC works. You gotta win fights to stay relevant. If not, your ass is out. So that's the Brock who's fights now on there. But we'll see. So they're saying Brock's just using that as leverage to get a contract extension next year for WWE. I mean, that can always be. Well, if Brock's selling for WWE well, he's gaining traction in that, and he's selling well, and his merchandise is doing well. This doesn't lose the cash cow. So Brock says, well, bitch, I know UFC's been talking, and I can't really go back to real fighting, so free agency. Yeah, we'll see. Then interesting. After WrestleMania weekend, Brock doesn't have a contract. What's gonna happen to Mania? JR, who's now an MMA announcer, was saying how Brock's like in the best shape he's been in a long time. Oh, easily. He definitely has cut back on a lot of weight and so on. So yeah, he definitely he's like strong too. Like the guy's freaking strong. Actually, when somebody asked Batista this one question one time, which was, who's stronger, you or Brock? He says, well, look, I know Brock. I mean, we were kind of trained together at one point. Brock is way stronger than me. It's not even close to Batista. It's not even close. The guy's a freak in the gym. An absolute freak. So yeah, I mean, that'll be another obviously interesting topic of discussion as we get towards WrestleMania as well. Yeah, and so we'll see. We'll see how that goes, and see what happens. I guess in the go home edition of Raw next week before Hell in a Cell, and I guess make predictions for that pay-per-view next week on the Great Wrestling Debate as always, and discuss whatever happens on Raw, and maybe some more Ultimate Wrestling history as usual right here. And to be a guy, we believe that if Orton and Batista join Evolution, that Batista would probably cut, and Orton would probably still be pushed to the roof. Probably. Keep in mind, if he would have still failed, he'd probably been cut eventually too, because WWE gives so many guys so many chances before they eventually say this guy's just not ready for prime time. So yeah, that'll do it for that, and that'll do it for the Great Wrestling Debate today. So thank you for tuning in as always.
It's not in a slump.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
he's saying that, but there are
finally he's on. Yeah, I mean,
he's finally on the board.
It's about time he gets, because he dropped like 2 other touchdown passes.
He also fumbled the ball.
Yeah, he fumbled the ball. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, Cooper for me a head scratcher really. I mean, as to why, he's Deshaun Jackson and Avant. I'd take over Cooper any day.
Mm-hmm.
So. Now, to be fair to Jordan Matthews, I mean, he's a rookie, and we'll see how he comes along.
Now, Josh Huff, on the other hand, was a complete waste of space, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's also injury. He's also another injury-prone guy, it seems, and
he was a third rounder too. It wasn't like he was.
Yeah.
He was in the 5th and 6th, 7th round. I get that. Those guys they make the roster. It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Usually, but he was a third rounder, which means Chip had this theory in mind that he was going to use this guy for something.
Yeah, I think he was special teams guy, but I mean special teams seems all right.
Or played for Oregon.
Yeah, well that too, but yeah, but I mean also along with that, I mean we kind of made the theory that special teams guy if anything, but not a guy who's gonna.
But then Chris Polk takes your job.
Yeah.
But now he's out there. But then it looks. But then maybe Darren Sproles might take Huff's job. Then
Essentially, yeah.
And that was kind of a problem with Jackson at one point, was that he would do all these returns and that, and fans get nervous because it's like, this is going to increase this guy's chance of getting injured in a game.
Yeah, because he was having problems with like concussions too. And
yeah,
I think they were trying to preserve him. Take him away. Not do the punt returns and the kick returns.
Yeah, because he's not a big guy, but Darren Sproles is even a shorter guy.
Yeah.
So having him do the punts, which I still think is a huge mistake. I get the fact that the guy is a playmaker, but you're risking the chance of this guy just getting destroyed by somebody with punt return.
Yeah. Special
teams is special teams for a reason. You don't waste offensive weapons or so there. I get the guy can score a punt return. Grant, looking at his stats, he didn't do many in his career. I think the one in San Francisco was only his 4th punt return in his career. That's all the years at San Diego. Yeah, so 1 year at the Saints.
Yeah, he's having like a career year in special teams for his,
So it's not like if he's not catching the ball on punt returns, it's not like the Philadelphia Eagles are losing a whole lot. I think.
Yeah. So.
Like I said, yeah, sure, Ambrose wins, but at the end of the day, nobody wins it because then we get John Cena versus Randy Orton in another pay-per-view match.
Yeah. So
and they already have overkilled those two feuding with each other. So I don't think there's almost like a party just that says just put Cena in the main event. It's just,
either way, I mean,
either way, Ambrose is facing a veteran. I guess at the end of the night, he's facing someone who will either say, yeah, the kid's ready, or he'll, in Orton's case, he could pull a Kofi Kingston on Ambrose and go, the kid's not ready. He's just not ready.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as Hell in a Cell pay-per-view right now, the way it looks, I guess you got 3 matches right.
If it was under the old system, it's a pass. It's going to get a very shitty buy rate. It might still get a shitty buy rate.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's like, there's even like some people I bet that have the network that are just like saying, I'm not even gonna watch it. I subscribe. It's just there's no point. There's really nothing viable on this pay per view right now.
Yeah. So you also had I guess Roman Reigns checking in.
For 30 seconds.
Yeah, for like 30 seconds. Yeah, I mean, I was like Michael Cole just like asked one question. I would have thought he was gonna ask more questions.
No, complete waste of a segment that they actually hyped up all week in that
Yeah, it's like
tune in. Reigns is going to be talking. He's going to update us and everything and that.
And then after that, I'm just like, wait, that's it?
I mean, all I really got from Reigns is just that it's just like, yeah, I'm going to come back and nothing's going to, I'm going to just go right into my old spot that Dean is keeping warm for me right now, pretty much. I mean, it wasn't like he was like acknowledging like, yeah, good luck, Dean. I hope you get Seth and that, and that it was kind of just like, oh, I'm gonna be back in a couple of months, and don't worry, I'll be back, and
you can believe that, drop one of those in there.
I can go back as being the number 2 guy in the company. Dean can just drop back to number 3, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what I took out of that. So it's like.
But again, I would have thought that Cole was going to ask more questions, and I don't know. It seemed like it was authentic though. Like what Reigns was like. It obviously wasn't like scripted or anything. It was kind of just Reigns, ad-libbing, saying I guess whatever you know.
Tyler, I kind of disagree there. First of all, it's via satellite there, so
But
it's probably done in like a studio somewhere.
Well, no,
somewhere
because he was saying like and this and that, you know. He had some ums in there, and so I would have thought
it's like the mics. This guy has ever been like a killer on the mic based on what I've seen.
Yeah, but he's not. But when he's on the mic or in any other segment, he's not saying ums or anything. I mean, I don't know. To me, it didn't.
No. Roman says. I'm sorry. What? You know. I'm sorry. Get close to the microphone. Mouth close to the microphone.
No. I'm saying like in just actual talking. I don't know. Actual voicing here. He doesn't say ums or anything. You know, on normal, everyday promos or whatever. So I don't know. I think this. You know.
I don't know. I mean, he also like someone just said, okay, Roman, you got 30 because it wasn't like it was a live press conference. You know, it was like pre-taped too. This so. Probably what Roman got told by a camera guy is, okay, Roman, 30 seconds. Yeah, just give a 30-second update there. Yeah. And Ray just did top of his head here. Holy shit, I got to sum up this been 30 seconds. so he's probably just going, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was
believe that.
Yeah.
Which if that's the case, the guy clearly is not ready for prime time then.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could have had more questions for Michael Cole, but I was just like kind of shocked. Like, wait, that's it? That's all? You know, that they hyped up last week.
All I can say was this: I was shocked how little time they spent on the quote unquote next big thing compared to the Today Show host.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean,
and a miniature gator taking on a miniature bull apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of skippable stuff here on Raw, obviously. I mean...
Was Matt Lauer and Al Welker too busy, or is it because it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month that it had to be two females?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that there. It might have been it might have been a USA call, too.
Yeah.
I mean, hell that... What, do you ever catch the commercials for that reality show called Chrisley Knows Best and that?
I don't... If they come on somewhere, I don't... you know, I just tune out.
No, I'm just saying because I swear to you, every Raw I watch, they always type up this whole Chrisley knows. Who the hell is this Todd Chrisley guy?
Yeah, I don't.
Who is this?
Like, seriously, who the hell is this guy?
I don't. Yeah, I don't even. I don't know. I just tune. I mean, really, I just.
Apparently, he's gonna show on Raw next week.
Yeah, I remember they did advertise somebody, so I don't know, but.
I mean, if USA wants to cross promote with their other programs, that's fine. But get the good shit then.
Yeah.
Todd Chrisley Chrisley Knows Best.
Yeah.
Who I don't know. Apparently is a celebrity. I don't know what the hell the guy did.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what you couldn't get the cast from White Collar? They were too busy. What the cast from Psych was too busy.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's way better USA programming than you could cross promote with it and so on, but it's just I don't know. I mean, I would give the Raw crowd credit when they brought out that one reporter who's a kind of battling cancer right now.
Yeah.
They did respect her,
Right? Yeah.
I mean, you know, they unlike Kathy Lee Gifford and I don't know what Hoda or what I don't know. I can't name her co-host naming that, but the B team from the Today Show essentially came out and they got booted out of the building, and everyone went, why? It's because nobody gives a shit about what you got to say. And they're like trying to copy like this. They're almost trying to talk like they do on their show, which is stupid because I don't know how many people watch Raw, watch the Today Show, but yet watch you two on the Today Show when clearly Matt Lauer has been the face of the Today Show for so many years.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, you definitely had that on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I guess The Rock coming back, you know, is a surprise return here. Definitely the crowd you could tell the crowd was shocked and.
Well, like I said, it was an actual legitimate surprise. Like Raw, it was like WWE set knew this Monday Rock's gonna be here.
Yeah,
it was kind of like it was like a very last second like deal apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know, and I was actually happy with the way the whole Rusev deal went. if he took a rock bomb or an elbow, I said, that's it, Rusev's done as a character. That's it. He's done.
Yeah.
But just getting punched out of the ring there, I kept him pretty protected, I think.
Yeah.
For the day that John Cena faces him, probably. And then he's probably gonna lose and hopefully he can keep it together, unlike Bray Wyatt. Which apparently the Wyatt family is splitting up. Apparently,
apparently they're
The whole point of last week's video and this week's video is that Bray is setting Luke Harper and Eric Rowan free. Now, I'm fine with Luke Harper getting a singles push. I think the guy definitely has the wrestling ability. Eric Rowan is just gonna die a visible death. But the only reason why he even was able to get in the main rosters because he was part of the Wyatt family in the first place. He plays the role right. He plays the enforcer. He has in tag team matches. He's able to work a full match in that. I mean, but as a singles wrestler, I've seen him do singles matches. He's not that great. Harper actually has wrestling ability in that, but it's just it blows my mind. All of a sudden, this company just gave one on his faction here.
Yeah.
It really shows you how lucky the Shield as a faction was, because I guess you can kind of say that's kind of the whole history with this company is that there's certain factions that they really like, and there's certain factions that they're hot for like maybe a month, and then they'll just die a slow pace.
Anymore after that showing against the Cincinnati Bengals that were coming off of the bye. Obviously, they've had a pretty stellar defense in recent memory and so far this season. And Sunday Night Football in Foxborough, they just they come out and they just lay an egg against the New England Patriots and fail to remain unbeaten. And in my eyes, definitely lost a lot of slack after this week, and looks like the Patriots, are now on the right track. As guys like Rob Gronkowski continues to get healthier, he kind of had another bust out game of his, and the Patriots, Tom Brady coming back and looking like the Tom Brady that we all know well. And, these guys figure it out. I mean, Brady, Belichick, they've started slow like this in past years a little bit. And, they get it together. And, I'm sure as usual down the line, they'll be a contender. Perhaps once again in the AFC Championship game, unless maybe the Chargers or the Broncos or somebody else has something to say about that in the come playoff time. But again, Brady seems to be getting it together, and kind of like Rodgers, seems to be getting it together. Obviously. Telling everybody to relax the other week ago, and since then has been nothing